And welcome to the Week 4 edition of the Ed Carberry Show. I'm Ramon Scott, and I'm joined by Southwestern College head coach Ed Carberry. He's happy again for the second straight week. And we got sophomore safety ATOA FOX, the Bonita Vista High grad, and doing a great job for the Jaguars right now, especially off that win last week, coach, against Victor Valley. We had to take it to the road, but a 41-17 win. I don't want to say a much-needed win, but a game we thought we expected to have, and we got. And boy, we got a breakout performance from sophomore quarterback Josh Owen. Coach, you've had a lot of great quarterbacking performance over your career at Southwestern, but how about 6 touchdown passes in the win? Sophomore wide receiver Tyson Dixon and freshman wide receiver Davion Johnson both caught 2 scores, but Dixon's scoring catches come in that big second quarter. Clay Bartonier, if I'm saying that one right, coach, had a touchdown early to make it 6-0. And, Victor Valley had its moments and kind of got back into the game. But please, just tell me about the defense, too, with ATOA leading the way in the secondary. But I don't think we can't go further without leading off with Josh, because that is just a great performance. How many times you've seen this in your career, Coach, there, especially from someone – were you expecting something like this?
No, we were hoping, definitely hoping. He threw for 6 touchdowns. I looked up the school record today is 7 by a guy named George Munoz, who played back in the 90s against Grossmont College. So he had multiple 5 and 6 TD games, but that was pretty good by Josh to get it done. He got hit pretty hard 3 or 4 times. You just didn't think he was going to get up, and somehow he kind of slowly shook out the cobwebs and got back up. What did you think of Toe? Did you think he was knocking himself out or what?
I feel like he played super tough, and like it gave us a type of boost, like to see him just get back up after getting hit so many times and just keep pushing. Like it showed how much of a leader he really is, and it gave us that extra boost to keep on going.
Well, defense played awesome. Yeah.
ATOA had a great game. You guys in the secondary, ATOA, you had 2 tackles, 2 pass breakups, a fumble recovery. Great job by you guys and the defense. Tell me about you and Isaac Wright and your guys in the secondary, and shout out to several of your defenders if you can.
Our mentality is just to go out there and play hard nose, and just like Isaac and Robert Wright, Taekwon, and JD, the 2 corners, we just all learn like communicate, be on the same page, and just play aggressive. And if we do the assignment right, they have to, in order to beat us, they have to knock us back, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, Coach, 5 sacks, huh?
5 sacks defensively, boy. We just try to wait until defense gets a good field position for us, and then we make our move offensively. But we've had great defense all 3 games. We shut Mesa down to really just 1 score back in game 1, and then we put it to Palomar and put it on the shoulders of the defense to win the game there with some great timely punting. And then this last week, we've been going to Victor Valley for 15 years, and it's a hard place to play. Playing in the local high school is much improvement, but it's still hot. It's about a 3-hour bus ride one way, and everybody's kind of trying to. It was our farthest trip also, so I think that made things a little bit different. But Toe played great. It was a big part of our win.
How'd the trip go for you, Toe? What did you think of the conditions, the time it takes to get there, all that, and how it affected you guys on the field? Obviously, it didn't affect you too much, but just tell me the rigors of a day like that.
I would say it did affect us a little bit, just that long drive, that heat. Like it made us come out flat a little bit, but we knew coming into that game that the conditions would be like that. So we just try to, like Coach says, think enthusiastic and you'll become enthusiastic. So yeah.
Hey, so one guy wants to
Good one.
comment on just looking at the stats here, and maybe Coach Ed can comment too. Well, one of our East County guys out here, Riley Havard, says he had an interception in the game. Is that right? And do you remember that play, Atoa?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about Riley and tell me about that play.
Riley, hardworking dude, always has a nose for the ball, and just if he's in the game, you're for sure getting 110% out of him. And on that play, I want to say the quarterback was rushed, and he was playing post, and he just read the quarterback greatly and broke on the ball. I personally think he should have scored, but I'm happy with that pick, though.
There you go. Yeah, Riley, if you've seen the movie The Natural with Robert Redford, I give him a hard time all the time that he's the natural. In high school, he had 6 interceptions. He was more of a center field. There's 2 kinds of safeties: a thumper that comes down and tackles people and is agile enough to play deep, and then there's a guy like Riley who's kind of a center fielder. And when the ball's in the air for any length of time, he seems to be around it and make plays.
Yeah, well, he's our guy, growth smart, high product, and mentioned those 5 sacks. Listed Braylon Bettles. Is that right?
Yep.
2 sacks. What kind of pressure were you guys bringing, and what got him loose, Atoa?
That's a great dude. He came here from Oregon State. We just drew up plays, so we have 3 safeties in the game, and he's the one blitzing, and he just made something work. I mean, he's really good at blitzing and getting off those linemen and getting to the quarterback. But yeah, caught up the play, and he just made it happen.
Yeah, he hit the quarterback pretty hard one time. I'd seen him kind of coming down towards the line of scrimmage, and then he split 2 of our guys and 2 of the defensive guys, or the Victor Valley's offensive line guys, went right through there and just thumped the quarterback. Great hit.
Great hit.
So I want to know a little bit more. I just can't, with all due respect to Atoa and the great job he did, I still want to talk a little bit more about this offensive performance. I think it's worthy of the attention. Dixon and Johnson combined for nearly 300 yards. You guys had big plays, 78-yarder, 69-yarder. So Owen stats, averaging really more than 20 yards of completion with that. So you said you were hoping, and it just would have to be categorized though as a big surprise for Josh. He must have just looked at his hand or his arm at one point and said, I'm just looking at his career path, okay? And to just go out there and have this kind of game like that, you just got to look at yourself and say, this is everything I've worked for, and it's all coming to fruition today.
I hope he saves some more for later on, like this Saturday. But he did a great job. He's got a great football mind. He understands not just the plays but the coverages, and does a good job of finding the open receiver. He took some big hits, as I said earlier. He got up and kept playing. But really, I think it's a combination of him knowing what's going on. He threw the ball deep really well. We were kind of like the Raiders, low percentage, high yield. And, 20 yards a catch is enormous. And he threw a couple deep balls. He hit a double post. He hit one of the guys on a little quick hitch screen into the boundary that took off up the sideline and just couldn't be caught. So we combined speed and some real accurate throwing. We probably had 8 passes dropped in the first quarter. And defensively, I don't know if Victor Valley would have scored, except we got a couple of like offside penalties that got us to jump a couple times, and at bad moments, where if we jump off sides, they get a first down. So we're constantly working on getting that improved over this week.
And they had a pick 6 as well in the third.
I think that was me.
That was on you, Coach?
He said something to Josh, and the corner was kind of close to us. I think he heard me say fullback flat, and he jumped that route in the flat and took off with it.
And we got a safety. Atoa, was that on a defensive play or was it a special teams play? Do you recall?
The safety.
Coach,
They said he was.
yeah, it was Coach. You remember it was 32-10, and we got 2 points. It was 34.
Yeah,
I didn't look at the
I think it was.
play-by-play.
I think it might have been a punt because we had kind of a couple crazy punt moments again.
Okay.
Don't go get a hot dog and a Coke at halftime.
Okay, well, we got
Every
the 2
time we go
points.
to punt, something weird happens.
Well, we got the 2 points. It says here. We made it. Yeah. So
I remember them kicking off from the 20. After that, I don't remember exactly how that came about.
okay.
But
Well, see. Next thing you knew, and then that happened in the pick. Maybe we got ahead of ourselves with this win, but great job by you guys. I think it's going to put you in a bit of a quandary, Coach, this week if you guys were, looking to go up top. Because if you get into a scoring test this week, then ATOA and the guys are going to get tired. So what are you going to do, Coach, this week? I'll just tell you. I mean, but I'm just let everybody know we're playing Fullerton. We're on the road, right? So. Coach, if you're trying to go up top and try to open this game up, Atoa, what I was saying was you didn't hear me because you're in your personal barber shop there with your boyhood barber getting worked on for the game. But what I said was, Coach might not be able to adapt that same strategy unless Josh is just clicking and you can get into a trading war with them. You guys are going to be on the field a little bit. If we decide and we have offensive success against Fullerton, Coach, those defensive guys are going to get tired and we're going to end up in one of those shootouts. But the variance gives us a chance. Sometimes you take that gamble as a coach. I know that.
Well, when you can throw the ball, you have a puncher's chance. It's like the guy who, the heavyweight champion who's out there gets his rear end handed to him, for 12 or 13 rounds, and suddenly out of nowhere he hits the guy with one hand and knocks him out cold. And so when you can throw the ball, you have that opportunity. You're never out of the game. And so we're going to continue to do that. We played Fullerton last year for the first time in quite a while. And we lost the game 19-14, missed 2 field goals. So we were right there with them in a chance to win at the end. But our defense is super strong. We've really, as I said earlier, relied on the ability of the defense to play football, get the ball back for us with either turnovers or some type of good field position from the punting game. But we bring great defense with a lot of heart, a lot of effort, ready to go.
Yeah, and I think we categorized it last year as a well-executed strategy. So maybe the type of direction really that you have to go into the game with Fullerton, but the running this week, wasn't maybe as productive as maybe you can tell me it didn't matter because the passing was working so well. I mean, most of the runs this past week, they did have a big 43-yarder, but most of the runs were 2 and 3 yards. So what
Right.
do we do? How are we going to engage these guys?
Well, I know Coach Menares, our defensive coordinator, he's always got something special up his sleeve. And our defense has been awesome about making whatever he can draw up come to life on the field. And so we're going to rely on them and on the team, and Coach Mo getting his magic started. But it's going to be a tough game, but that's what we signed up for. This is certainly the biggest game we've played this year, but hopefully it's not the biggest game we're going to play this year. Bigger ones down the road.
Atoa, I don't know what you guys have looked at so far, but it's already Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure you know what's going in. But, for all those points they scored last week, I mean, 237 yards passing for Fullerton last week. Certainly a balanced offense. Their quarterback, their main guy, 1927 to 175. So what are you guys looking into with Fullerton, Atoa?
I mean, we're just looking into bringing the pressure, not allowing them to just sit back and throw and hope and lay back on our coverage. Is more we're leaning to bringing the heat this game, having them try to get the ball out faster, throw bad passes and stuff like that, so that we could capitalize on their mistakes and make a big play and give the ball back to our offense.
Coach, this isn't Fullerton. It's still Fullerton. Does that make any sense? Tell me where they stand, given their troubles of late. They're still, highly ranked. I mean, they're ranked 12th in the JC Athletic Bureau poll this week, but I don't know if you follow the Massey ratings. They had them a little bit higher. So they're still Fullerton, right?
Yeah, I'm one of the voters in the polls, so I have to pay attention to what's going on. They've got great football players. Their defense is super fast. They hustle. Number 90, a defensive tackle. I can't remember his name right now, but he's a physical guy. Boy, he gets on an edge on the center, and he can get in the backfield in a second. The strength of their team is their defense this year. The offense last year was a little bit ahead of everybody and really put a lot of pressure on our defense to be able to slow them down. But if you look at Fullerton right now, they're big and strong, and they just run really well. So that will be the same. All the other things, them not being allowed to go into a playoff system or postseason play for the next 2 years, all came about through some recruiting violations, and it's bad for the students, but it seems to be straightened out. We'll see how everything goes from there.
So maybe they're just not getting those few extra players, and that's why they're kind of more towards the middle of the top 25 rather than more towards the top like
Yeah,
they've been.
community colleges, Toa could tell you, it happens fast. You're there for a second, then next thing you know, you're graduating.
Yes,
And
sir.
so it's really critical about where you go and getting the opportunity to get out on the field, and then also to be seen on video and promoted by the coaches. And that's something that we work real hard on.
So did you play in the Fullerton game last year?
No, I attended the school, but I was not playing football last year.
We did everything we could. It took us like 9 years to get him to come out, right? Constantly talking to you, staying on top. He's a phenomenal player. We knew him from when he was at Bonita and knew he could be an impact player here. We're just really blessed to have him.
That's
Appreciate
interesting.
it, Coach.
Noah, you maybe weren't planning on continuing your football career, just staying in shape, or did you think that you did have that as a goal and work to it?
So when cause I had went to Idaho State and I left during spring last year, and I came here. I wasn't aware of that my redshirt season didn't count towards like my GPA for JUCO, so that's what kept me out last year.
Coach, is that a typical scenario for you that you see?
Absolutely. Most of the guys come in with some little nick, whether it's injury from the previous season or as simple as we had one student this year that had gone to Southern Oregon. Well, they're a quarter system, and he had 22 quarter units, and he needed 24 semester units to be eligible again. So he's redshirting now and be back next spring. But there's a lot of little idiosyncratic kind of deals that go on there, and that's why we have a full-time athletic counselor.
Okay, I don't know if I pinned you down. I just want to touch real quick again on Fulton because this is such a big game.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think maybe you were just maybe you're avoiding my question about how it feels like we have to get down and we have to get down and really try to run with these guys and keep it a defensive game. But right now, Josh's success would allow you the ability to get in a contest. So it just seems like if we try to score and have some success, they're a program that gets involved sometimes in those high-scoring games. But I think that's the way I looked at that game last year, and then you sprung it on us with this defensive outcome.
Yeah, well, you're right. Fullerton is an outstanding football team. They can score points in bunches. We've been blessed to be able to play really well on defense, and that's what we're going to rely on again. Run the ball, throw at the appropriate times, but kick the ball and let our defense do the work of either turning the ball over or putting us in such a great field position. It happened last year. They turned the ball over to us twice. We drove right down the field and scored. And so it shows we can move the ball. This last 2 weeks for us offensively is going to give us some confidence. The punting game for us has been awesome. For as crazy as all of our snaps have been, we've really dominated the field position with the punt team. and the 2 punters that are getting out there getting it done. But we're gonna be in a battle. There's no doubt about it. But our ability to throw the ball keeps us in all games, and every time they throw the ball, gives us a chance to take it away from them.
Yeah, I think ATOA, it's more like we're going to need to force at least a couple of turnovers in this game, possibly to make that difference. I'll say it because you guys don't have to. I mean, we're underdogs in this game. Maybe by I'll say a touchdown or 2, Ed. Got to be honest. So let's get that up, ATOA. I got us at least 2 touchdown dogs, and you guys have to force some turnovers, swing the field the Jaguars' way. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So hit on a couple of subjects maybe as we go along. You talked about the poll. Maybe we can talk about some of these other teams in the other games. Riverside. You talked about you voted number 1. So Riverside, they're going to play Long Beach this week, so they'll blow them out. Locally, Palomar is up against Ventura. They're going to be underdogs. There's got to be 2 touchdown underdogs in that game, even at home.
Are they? Oh, they're playing at home.
At home, right? Okay. But Ventura should come in and win. Let's go Comets. But I think
Ventura's been struggling recently. They've
you got them in your top 10 though, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I really voted Saddleback number 1 right now.
You were the guy.
I was the guy. That's right. Yeah, I was looking at that too. Only one moron voted for them. Well, they're scoring a lot of points and playing real strong. So I thought that until later on in the season when we get there, we'll find out who everybody is.
And I'll just mention that Mesa is going to play Grossmont, and it's at Grossmont. Mesa's 3-0, and Grossmont's 0-3. And where did you have Mesa? Did you have Mesa in your top 10? They were number 9 in the JC Athletic Bureau poll.
I think I had them as 10.
Okay, and certainly, I mean, Mesa's got to be expected to win that one by at least 3 touchdowns, but maybe this will be one. I don't know. I'm just saying.
They're still playing football. It's not on paper.
Yeah, no.
Go out there and do it.
I'm the analyst here. You guys got to go out and prove me wrong.
Okay.
Right? So
that sounds good.
I want to upset Fullerton this week. That's what I want.
We all have something in common. We want to do that too.
All right, there's your one chat comment there, guys. That Jags defense is real nice. ATOA, do you know Mike? You guys know this guy? Is he in here? That's what we see. Ed on the screen. Someone typed in our defense is real nice. So we got a little bit of fan interaction. We're getting it going with the Ed Carberry Show, live and interactive. So, okay, Coach ATOA, thank you very much for joining us, Coach. Good luck on the road again this week.
Thank you.
Yeah, against Fullerton, and we'll talk to you next week and see what happens.
Well, the one thing that's going to happen is we're going to play the 2019 version. Nobody from past years is going to come out and play for Fullerton, so we'll see what they got.
Hey, last week it could be a whole new world.
Could be.
Seeing what happened last week, we'll see. It's a great job by Joshua. We were hoping to have him, but no big deal, Josh. Just keep it up, and we'll get you on. All right, guys. ATOA, Coach Ed, thank you so much, and for East County, I'm Ramon Scott.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thanks, ATOA.